Hello and welcome to Aztecs All In, Utah State, San Diego State. Big game at Viejas. I am Louis Weiner along with Steve Perez, two Aztec alums who love San Diego State sports. And Steve, a fun and exciting one today, huh?
Much better here at home after a win. Although, Louis, I'm feeling kind of lonely right now here inside Viejas without the crowd. We better get a move on because we don't want the folks who are cleaning up here to pick me up. I'm not a big guy and toss me into one of their trash bags.
Yeah, I think I already threw out my lunch. So that would coming up on this edition of Aztecs All In, a little home cooking is perfect for the Aztecs as they knock off number 17 ranked Utah State at Viejas Arena.
If you didn't make it to Viejas for the game, you missed a lot beforehand, and we'll try to bring a bit of it to you.
And Reese Waters on the difficulties of bouncing back after that big loss on the road at Colorado State. But, Steve, we're going to get into this one quickly. What are your quick thoughts before we get into the recap?
Win's the win. It's good that they finally made a good showing in a weekend game on national TV. That's bottom line.
Absolutely, and winning at home before they go on the road for two, I think, was huge as well. Well, let's get to it. Aztecs start the game with a different starting lineup, looking for a little more offense. Darian Trammell started for Micah Parrish, Jay Pal in for Elijah Saunders. Utah State and the Aztecs started off the game trading baskets for the most part, and a Parrish jumper at 15:36 tied the game at 9. Utah State got an early advantage, holding a 12-11 lead. Darius Brown was fouled on a three-point try, made the free throw, and it all of a sudden was 16-11 Utah State. Aztecs, they went a little run with Darian Trammell hitting a three to give the Aztecs their first lead at 17-16. A goaltending call against the Aztecs then spurred an 8-0 Utah State run. As Coach Dutcher often says, basketball is a game of runs, and the Aztecs went on one of their own. When Lamont Butler drove to the basket and scored with 5:10 left in the half, the crowd went crazy, giving the Aztecs a 31-29 lead and a 14-5 Aztecs run. But just minutes later, silence from the crowd when Darian Trammell fouled Ian Martinez on a three-point try that looked like a questionable call, but maybe he kicked him? I'm not sure. Utah State led again 33-32 after he made all three free throws. But the Aztecs ended the half on a 10-3 run of their own, with a big shot coming with 12 seconds left, a corner three from Micah Parrish, and the Aztecs led 42-36 at the half. The second half started with Utah State's great Omafor and Jaden Ledee of the Aztecs trading baskets, but slowly the Aztecs started creating separation from the Aggies. A Ledee three at 15:28 gave the Aztecs a 10-point lead. Parrish pushed it to 11 with a three of his own to make it 57-46. But the Aggies wouldn't go away. A few times they got the game within 7. The final time when Great Okafor was credited with a basket on a goaltending call against the Aztecs with 6:58 left to make the score 65-58. But it was all Aztecs from that point on. Just a minute and a half later, and Elijah Saunders' three gave the Aztecs a 12-point lead, 70-58. They pushed it to 14 with a tremendous drive to the basket from Lamont Butler with 3:24 left, and the crowd went absolutely nuts. That made it 74-60, and at that point, all the Aztecs fans at Viejas knew that this one was going in the win column. Aztecs win 81-67 to move to 17-5 on the season, 6-3 in conference, just one game behind Utah State. With a loss, the Aztecs would have been 3 games out with 2 coming up on the road, Steve, so just a gigantic win for San Diego State.
That's correct. And, Louis, there are 2 other teams that are darn glad that the Aztecs knocked off Utah State, New Mexico and Boise State, who, incidentally, are both still ahead of the Aztecs in the standings.
Yeah, and this one could push maybe the Aztecs into the rankings, knocking off number 17. They were 27 last week, so we shall see how the rest of the weekend plays out with the ranked teams.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention to the rankings any more than the players are.
I know. The truth of the matter is, Steve, you're right, because it really doesn't really matter.
It's nice to get the additional exposure nationwide, though.
It's window dressing, absolutely. Jay Pal, who got the start over Elijah Saunders, and Jaden Ledee led the Aztecs with 16 points each, and Darian Trammell, who got the start over Micah Parrish, scored 12. After the game, I asked Coach Dutcher about the rare switch to his starting lineup. Coach, can you talk real quick about Darian and Jay in the starting lineup today? You're known not to change starting lineups very often, especially mid-season. Can you talk a little bit about the thoughts behind that and your reaction?
Well, I don't throw clipboards down very much, but I threw one down at Colorado State, so I wasn't happy. So that's not on them specifically. That's the whole team performance. So I thought, you don't get to do this much. I don't like doing it much, but I thought I'd shake the lineup up a little bit. And as much as I was happy with Dariana and Jay Pal, I was equally as happy with Elijah and Micah coming off the bench, because it would have been so easy for them to be upset, to be in a funk over not starting, but they both came out and maybe played some of their better basketball they played in a while. So that just shows that this team is focused on winning. They're not upset. They can be disappointed. I don't blame them. I'd be disappointed if I went to the bench after starting. But to their credit, to their character, they want to win more than anything else, and they helped our team win today. No, it can change at any time, you know. It can change. I mean, we might decide when we go to Air Force we'd be better off starting 4 guards and put Mike back in there. But that all depends on the scout we're doing and what we think gives us the best chance to win. And Heidi was in the conversation to start too. You know, he's played well enough in stretches, but I just thought I'd rather play a 5th-year senior in Jay Pal, who's played a lot of basketball. And you got to think, the last game he only played 9 minutes at Colorado State. And so to go from 9 minutes to 25, 26, 27 minutes, whatever he played today, shows that not every night's your night, but be ready when your name is called. And he was. He was ready to answer the call. He wasn't depressed over playing so few minutes at Colorado State. He came to work and practice and earned himself a spot out there on the starting floor today.
After the game, Coach Dutcher talked about the difference the Viejas Arena crowd made against Utah State, and not just for the Aztecs. Coach Dutcher says the huge home crowd can influence the way the officials actually call a game.
Yeah, it's this crowd. This crowd is incredible. And listen, officiating is really hard. And so we were at Colorado State, and they took 22 free throws, and we took 7. And tonight we took, 28? And they took 13. And so same teams, but it's hard. The crowd gets on the officials. We get on the officials. It's not to say that they're calling it to the crowd, but their big guy, I think he shoots a ton of free throws. He shot 1 today. It's almost like the reverse of Jaden Ledee. Jaden Ledee takes 1 at Colorado State. He doesn't take any at New Mexico. Then he gets home and he gets some free throws. So that's what home court advantage is. And we've taken advantage of that. We got to the foul line and we converted. I think they're a good crew. And I think the way, I'm not trying to say that we didn't get the same whistle. We played extremely aggressive, and we dictated tempo a lot with our pressure and the way we attacked the rim and the way we played. So we earned our trips to the foul line. But it just seems to me over this year, because I'm looking at the other end, when I'm not happy when we only go 7 times, the other team goes 22. And that's basketball. But at that time, Stu, you look at the officials, and it's not that much different. There's not a great, all of a sudden you feel like you're not getting any calls. Like they're calling a good game. But maybe the home team is more aggressive attacking. They do more things at an aggressive level at home than they do on the road. Maybe teams are more cautious on the road, the environment, the altitude. And so it's not all officiating. It's the home court environment. It gets you playing more aggressive. The crowd gets behind you. They inspire you. And you just play at a higher level at home than you do on the road.
So, Steve, I don't know about you, but I was worried about this game. But thankfully, the Aztecs pulled it out, because had they lost, it would have been tough road ahead, I think.
You have to hold serve at home. And as Coach Dutcher said after the game, figure out a way to win. He called it stealing a win on the road.
Yes, sir.
So a couple of thoughts on this game. First off, Lewis, it was Aztec wig giveaway to the first 1,000 students in the house. And not being a current student and also being media, I couldn't get my hands on one of those red and black fright wigs. But I did see an older guy outside the arena during the midway break, and he had one on. I just wanted to confirm with him when I just talked to him, that's one of the wigs, right? He said, yeah. And then I went on about my business. But then I thought about it afterwards, and he didn't look like he was student age. So I don't know how he got it. But from the looks of his scalp, he needed it. So good on him.
His name wasn't Bozo, was it?
No. It was also, of course, one of those must-win games, and the Aztecs pulled the must-win this afternoon. Utah, as we've noted, surprise team so far this season with the Montana State coach, Danny Sprinkle, bringing big man Great Osabor and guard Darius Brown II. Osabor logged 17 points along with 7 boards. Brown had 13 points, but those are just 2 guys, Lewis, and they both played a lot of minutes in this game. Brown went the entire 40. Aztecs pushed them both along with the rest of them, and that proved to be the difference as they took the lead at the halftime, and then they continued to pile on the points. All part of the plan, says Darian Trammell. He got the start for the first time this season, as you noted, and that's after starting all of them last season, being honored for his play in the South Regional during the Aztecs' run last year.
Before the game, we talked about who's going to play harder tonight, or today. I keep saying tonight. But, yeah, I mean, he played a lot of minutes, and we know that a lot of guards in this league are playing a lot of minutes. So me and Mont, just being at the guard position, it's all about the long game and just pressuring them throughout the entire game and just making it hard for him. He still had a pretty good night, but I feel like we made it hard today. At the end of the day, I mean, the passes get a little lackadaisical. They're not driving with as much force. And, I mean, that kind of fuels me and Mont just to keep going because I feel like we're in great shape, and that's where we got our edge.
The other note I have about the game concerns the job the Aztecs did against a high-scoring Utah State team, holding them below 70 for just the fourth time this season. Trammell says it looks like the team is picking up its focus on the defensive end, while new guy Jay Powell, who also got the start, says he is catching on as well.
At first, it was kind of just learning the system. We had a lot of new guys coming in. San Diego State defense is very unique, especially if you're coming from a different program or even if you're coming out of high school as a freshman. So it's all about learning, and now it's kind of just sustaining that over 40 minutes. It's really hard, and we know that. We're not trying to give up anything, so it's all about trying to take away everything. Obviously, we don't pitch shutouts, but, I mean, that's kind of the goal for San Diego State. So it's all about sustaining it for 40 minutes.
Just staying focused and just trusting in ourselves and just practicing hard every day. Like Coach likes to say, defense travels all the time, and that's a great saying. I like that. He says a lot, and we take pride in that.
The Aztec home crowd getting a boost from a host of returning Aztecs in this game today. More than 20 were told. They all joined at center court during the halftime break to be honored. A lot of cheers for Lorenzo Wade, DJ Gabe, Matt Shrigley. God, some of these names. Jeremy Hemsley, Adam Seiko. Seiko with the Mako.
Seiko with the Mako.
And both players and Coach Dutcher alluded to the contribution those guys made to building the program that fans and a national TV audience enjoyed today. Among those fans, also part of the gathering outside Viejas today, there were people enjoying 2 Mountain West trophies from last season and a net that was cut down. Fans allowed to take snapshots with them before the game. Max and Amanda Hansen, both Aztec fans for a long time and, like us, Aztec alums. I caught up with them after their big moment with the hardware, and here's what they had to say.
The trophies are fantastic. I like how that one is mirrored, and the net that they cut down, the whole thing's terrific.
I mean, seeing the net cut, honestly, it was a little bit little emotional there for a split second. I kind of was like, oh, my heart, so proud of these guys.
Yeah, there were some great games played.
Right, since we're on a podcast that's audio and not TV, I'm going to describe it's the Mountain West Men's Basketball Regular Season Championship Trophy, and that's also the tournament trophy for the Mountain West.
Yeah, that's right.
And that the nets are cut down from being the regional champions. Huh?
Yeah, that was fantastic. What a game.
That's pretty heady stuff.
Yeah, Butler at the buzzer, right?
Are you guys season ticket holders?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Ladie's playing great. I think the team looks good. I really like Waters. Of course, Butler is the favorite. So I like everything, and Dutch is doing a great job. So
never count us out. Never count us out. We're strong in a tournament.
We can beat anyone. Yes.
And regardless of the results this season, will you be re-upping?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're in here for the long haul.
Okay, so in a way, you two are also all in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So last year when we picked brackets in March, I had Aztecs in the finals, and my bracket was on fire. So I plan on doing it again this year.
Yeah.
So are you into the college basketball hoops as your husband?
I'm the one that got us the season tickets.
Yeah.
And then he's the one that says every year, should we renew? Yeah.
And what do you think about the Saturday afternoon start?
It's nice. I mean, I didn't quite finish all my household chores, but that's okay. Yeah. We'll get to it tomorrow.
Yeah. We zip right down the freeway, no traffic, found parking. I mean, I love it, right? I love it.
Hey, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Love hearing from the fans, Steve. Let's go back quickly to Adam Seiko in the house. And after the game, Darian Trammell talked about that. And when Seiko used to hit a basket, he used to do something with his hand. I'm not quite sure what, but apparently Micah Parrish was doing it today after he hit a bucket, and some of the other players were as well. So they were actually honoring Adam Seiko on the court today with him, and first time he's been to a game this year.
Right, and I'm sure a lot of eye contact between a guy that was part of that tournament run team last year. So it was almost like he was back on the court with him, at least in spirit. He was.
He was, absolutely. And Rukok wanted to talk about the new dynamic of the starting lineup with Darian Trammell and Lamont Butler in at the same time. That creates headaches for opposing coaches, and I think Jay Powell is in the starting lineup to stay. He just creates a pretty good matchup against the other teams, and I think that Dutcher really likes the way he played today.
At one point, as the game appears to be going the Aztec way, 5:36 left, Elijah Saunders knocked down a three. It was 70-58. The Utah State assistants were staring at the stat sheets during that lengthy TV timeout on Fox. That's my Homer Simpson, not very good, but anyways.
Oh.
And the other thing about this game is I'm quite sure the Utah State fans and the Utes are going to have this date, February 20th, circled on their calendar, because that's when the Aztecs have to go to Logan and see what they can do there.
Yeah, they're looking for payback big time, for sure.
So we'll pivot from that to a look back at the Colorado State game, which was the game before this, Lewis. They closed out the month, the Aztecs did, with their second road loss in the conference against the Colorado State University Rams. Going into that game at Moby Arena, Colorado State had lost 2 straight, and they are now a 500 team going into Saturday's play, facing a trip to Fresno against the Bulldogs. And the Aztecs in that game got off to a horrendous start, Lewis, with the starters falling behind in Fort Collins, Colorado, by double digits. This is a program known for its elite-level defense, and it allowed the Rams to score almost at will while being stymied on offense. Refs were letting them play, as we've noted earlier. The Aztecs weren't getting the calls. The home team was. On the road, that means Aztecs' Jaden Ledigue is getting mauled by 2 to 3 guys, and everyone's allowed to play on. The TV replay showed Dutcher doing a Larry Eustace level spike of his whiteboard, and Dutcher was able to crack a joke about it today. But at the time, he didn't look very pleased. Guard Nick Clifford ended the night with 20 points on the Aztecs defense, keying on the consensus conference pick Isaiah Stevens. The Aztecs were able to come back numerous times during that game. First half, they fell behind as much as 14. They were down by 8 at the half. Aztecs had a lead at one point in the closing frame. Each time they pulled closer, better. Rams able to answer with quick scores. The final, as you know, 79-71 Rams. Afterwards, Coach Dutcher and the voice of the Aztecs, Ted Leitner, discussed the game on San Diego Sports AM 760.
Listen, we're talented. That's the good news. So if we keep working and we keep grinding, we can fix it. Some teams aren't talented enough to fix their team. So we've been good at home, but we haven't been good enough on the road, and you have to be really good on the road to win in this league. The bench came in and played good, and the starters did not come out and play with the edge they needed to start the game. We're not going to hit the panic button. We know we have to get better. They know that. They're good kids. They're not excuse makers, but the way we're playing right now on the road, we're not going to win on the road unless we get tougher physically, we get tougher mentally, and find a way to fight through some of these stretches where we don't play very well. These are hard places to play. We're not the only ones struggling, but I'm more concerned with our performance than I am with the results.
So, Lewis, at that point, yet another missed opportunity for the Aztecs to prove they can win on the road in the thin air environs of the Mountain West. Now they head back to Colorado, and this time to Colorado Springs, yes, the Air Force Academy, and they're going to play a team that features the Princeton offense. Lots of passing around, waiting for the shot clock to run down, wear down the opponent on defense. Air Force has just one conference win going into Saturday's play, but there's that thin mountain air again, and the Aztecs face a disciplined team made of academy cadets, where basketball is just one part of a busy and rigorous life. Here's Aztecs head coach Brian Dutcher discussing recent games on the calendar with the assembled media last Friday.
We knew this was the tough stretch of our schedule, playing Colorado State at Colorado State, coming back with Utah State, and then going back on the road for 2. So we have to find a way to fight our way out of a loss and see if we can't turn it immediately. But it's not easy to do. So yeah, I know it's easier with our full Viejas Arena. If we get the crowd in here, they're inspiring to us. They're hard on the other team. And it's important. That's why these teams are so good at home in the Mountain West, is because these venues are full of fans, and they're hard to play in. The thing you have to know in this conference is you got to have a thick skin, because you're going to lose a game in this conference, and you might lose 2 in a row. But it's whoever can stay right mentally, fix themselves, and find a way to get back on a win streak. You know, Boise's done great. You know, they've lost 2 home games, yet they find themselves 4-0 on the road. So what they've done is amazing, but I'm sure they're kicking themselves over the 2 home losses. Utah State escaped Vegas. I mean, a game they had a down 4 with the last possession of the game. They make it 3 and get fouled and have a 5-point play. So you have to find ways to win games, and it's not always pretty, but you have to find a way to win those kind of games in order to compete in this conference.
So yes, Lewis, as you heard Coach Dutcher relate, Utah State did escape Vegas with that miracle comeback. They did not escape today.
You're right, Steve. Utah State did not escape Viejas. San Diego State did pull it off. But remember, the Aztecs, of course, as you just talked about, lost to Colorado State. Reese Waters went from being the 6th man of the year at USC last season to the starting lineup for a San Diego State team that went on to win the national championship game last season. There were definitely high expectations, especially when you're coming to a team that lost some key players like Ashad Johnson, Nathan Mensah, Adam Seiko, who we just talked about, and Matt Bradley.
With the Mako.
With the Mako. But Waters fit right in and contributed immediately. He's currently 2nd on the team in minutes per game at 28.6, just behind Jaden Ledee. He's shooting 45% from the field and 43% from 3, the best on the team. He's also 2nd on the team in points per game at 12 behind Ledee. But it's hard not to think what those numbers could have been if Waters didn't hurt his ankle just as conference play started. He has struggled to get back to form, but now says he's 100%. And with half the conference season still to be played, the Aztecs couldn't be more thrilled to have Waters back at the top of his game. Before the Utah State game, Waters talked to the media this week about the difficulties of bouncing back after a tough loss like Colorado State and then playing in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, you definitely got to put the loss behind you, but use it as motivation at the same time. We understand that was a game that we could have won. It came down to the little details that we've been practicing in practice. And just, fixing the little things that we got to do. I think we're ready and we're excited.
You're going from elevation back to San Diego, back to Air Force elevation. How hard is that for you guys to deal with? Is it more difficult than you might think?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, something that's difficult, but it's college basketball at the end of the day. So we got to just lock in, be prepared. I think every game is a must-win. I don't think you ever go into a game like we can lose this one. It's definitely an energy in the locker room. Everybody wants to win, so everybody gets frustrated after a loss, but you're going to lose in the game, in any type of game, any sport. So, we take our losses and learn from them. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to win on the road in general, but we definitely take pride in winning at home. It's our home court, it's our home, so definitely don't want to lose. But in general, we got to just come in more prepared, more focused, which I think we've been doing a better job at since the beginning of the season. But as we mature and as we get better, I think it's definitely going to be something that we lock in with.
Against Utah State, Reese had a decent game, hitting a huge 3 at the end of the half. He finished with 7 points on 2 of 8 shooting and 1 of 4 from 3. And before we wrap up the hoops action, the Aztec women's basketball team lost at Colorado State 82-50 Saturday afternoon. The Aztecs are now 14-9 on the season and 5-5 in the conference.
Lewis, as we noted earlier, if you're not in Viejas or coming to these games, you are missing a lot. And inside, there was a moment of silence for 3 former Aztecs. We've discussed former coach Claude Gilbert. There was Tommy Nettles. Tommy Nettles, a star receiver at San Diego State in the 1960s. He died January 22nd, age 79, and a member of a great local family of athletes. And also, Lewis, Carl Weathers, the most recent fallen Aztec, majored in drama while playing linebacker for Don Coryell. Also did 2 years in the NFL, a couple years in the CFL. Then he enjoyed a bona fide acting career. I enjoyed his turn in Predator and also Happy Gilmore. And also, he made it big originally with the Rocky movies. So Carl Weathers died at age 76 on February 1st. All 3 Aztecs stomped on the Terra. And I don't know about you, but is it time to stomp on out of Viejas?
I think it is. And Carl Weathers, by the way, also recently in The Mandalorian, which I enjoy watching on the Disney Plus channel. So a great loss. And Sly Sloan on Instagram was very emotional in commenting about Carl Weathers and the importance that he played in his career.
Before Predators get us and kick us out of Viejas, it's probably time to wrap up. So that'll wrap up this edition of Aztecs All In. I'm Steve Perez along with Lewis Weiner. You can follow us on Twitter. The handle there is at Aztecs_all_in. Drop us a note on Gmail. It's aztecsallin@gmail.com. Once again, Steve Perez for Lewis Weiner saying we will talk to you soon.